And the Cavaliers will play tonight here at home. The Chicago Bulls are in town. And Cavs posting some photos from today's shoot-around on Twitter. And Cavs are doing pretty well, 35-17. Boy, that's a good showing. Bulls, Cavs tonight, 7:30 on MMS and on the iHeartRadio app. If you listen to this show on the app because you're out of state and still want to enjoy our dulcet tones, let me know where you do it. Jason listens in Glendale, California. It's a fine community. Trey's in Houston, Texas. Claude is in Surprise, Arizona. Brian listens in Hoboken. And Jamie is a new listener in Allen, Texas, suburban Dallas. Another school teacher has lost her job because of an OnlyFans page.
It's new norm.
This is a teacher who has been on the Alan Cox Show.
Uh-oh.
Plot twist. I'm just going to play this for you. This is a teacher who was teaching in Tucson, Arizona, after being forced to relocate some time ago. And it'll become clear to you pretty quickly what's going on here.
Monica Shawn, Rachel Dolezal now goes by the name Nkeki Diallo.
Rachel Dolezal, Nkeki Diallo. Not only did she get outed as not being black, they didn't come much whiter than Rachel Dolezal, but she said, screw you. Not only, I'm doubling down. Nkeki Diallo. If you're going to relocate and change your name, she really, really did not want to be Rachel Dolezal for obvious reasons, but I'm sure in her brain, she's like, look, this is still how I identify. We had her on the show years ago when she was doing that book tour. But I didn't know that she changed her name and relocated to Arizona and was a school teacher. I wonder well, I'll play more of this here for you. I'm amazed the school hired her after all that mishigas.
She was a prominent civil rights leader and African studies professor in Washington State, accused of pretending to be black for personal gain. Now, I confirmed today that she is now an employee with the Catalina Foothills School District and apparently now has a public social media page where she has linked an OnlyFans page that appears to be operated by her. Now, some explicit photos are being shared on other public websites, including the website Reddit. It is unclear tonight if the photos were shared by her. Now, we want to warn you, we have blurred these images you're about to see because they could be considered explicit and inappropriate for children. Again, we do not...
All right, so she's got her tracks in, and she's showing, she's got the framed book cover in the background there. Her book was called In Full Color. That's probably going back to 2015, 2016 maybe. Why would they warn you about blurred photos?
I don't know.
We want to warn you, these photos are blurred.
Because, I mean, if you got small kids, you don't want to even have to explain. It's just given. They're just covering all their bases.
So they are. So she changed her name to David Njoku or something like that. And she was a teacher there in Tucson,
know
Arizona.
if Diallo posted these photos or if they were placed there by someone else. I sent a text message this evening to a school official regarding...
All right, now, what do you think she's doing there? She's in front of a Christmas tree and probably showing whole.
Yeah, it looks like she's getting Santa.
She's getting her
Santa...
chimney ready for Santa.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Rocking around the Christmas tree, as it were.
Regarding the district's policy on explicit photos being shared by employees, and I am still waiting to hear back. And
he's still waiting to hear back.
She's got Black Santa framed in that picture.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like I said, she's doubling down, boy. Nkeki Diallo, the former Rachel Dolezal, teaching in Tucson, Arizona.
Did they know it was her?
I mean, they had to have, right? I mean, she was... Everybody knew who she was for a while. But this is kind of what sucks, too, is because, obviously, famously, the reason a lot of teachers do this is because they're not making enough money as teachers. And people can argue, rightfully as to whether, there's teachers are like any other line of work. There's good ones and bad ones. And the unions are pretty tough. So the unions protect good ones and bad ones. But, these teachers, if photos are getting screen grabbed and put out there kind of without your knowledge, I don't know, man. You're eventually going to lose your square gig. 2014 is when that whole thing broke. She was head of the NAACP in Spokane, Washington, before somebody said, excuse me, she's white. And she denied it for a while, and it was a whole back and forth. But I hadn't heard anything about that. Teaching in the Catalina Foothills School District there in Tucson, Arizona. Lost her job over her OnlyFans account. Pretty wild. So, the OnlyFans world isn't safe for any teacher. But
She just
that's
trying
where
to
you-
get famous?
I found the uncensored version of that.
Oh, no,
She's showing
send
whole,
it
isn't
to-
she?
send
Oh,
it to her.
she's showing whole hard.
Did you just go to her OnlyFans?
I just
Go to
Googled
Twitter.
Rachel Dolezal OnlyFans, and I found it on Reddit. You want to?
I mean, I'm not going to show it, but I mean,
know, but
that's how people know they can find the...
I'll put it in the group chat if you guys want it.
It's in the Black Ladies subreddit, by the way, for people who want to...
This is the most aggressive picture we've ever put in the group chat, by the way.
Why? Okay, fine. I kind of want to see it. Oh, no, now I'm nervous. It just showed up.
Oh my goodness.
Yikes. Oh,
Ladies
man.
Very clean though.
we are
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
difficulties.
Nice and
Please
bleached.
stand by.
Ah, boy. Hey, listen, she's got kids, She's got to...
No,
She got to make some
there's
money.
There's
She's gotta
nothing
provide.
bad about it. Like
Yeah.
it
Looks
doesn't
like it
look
hurts.
bad. It's very aggressive.
She's
Mhm.
she's
She's going to tear something.
she's
Mhm.
tanned all over.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when people get a spray tan or whatever type of tan they get, there's tan lines and you miss
How do
some
I
spots
get
because
that
it's
out? How do I get that out of my conversation?
You're
Just
never going to unsee
delete
it.
Put save as background.
No.
Right, here's another one.
Delete.
I guess she launched the OnlyFans a while ago, but it was for foot pics and squats. Just
Well-
one more piece of competition you got to worry about, Mary, in the foot pic. Did you
That
send
is
another one?
creep.
Yeah.
Just look at it.
'Cause look at what
All
it is,
right,
though.
yeah.
Idiot. It's a screen grab of my crotch.
Mary,
It's great.
Ham. I will delete that one.
Thank you.
So, yeah, Rachel Dolezal back in the... Yeah, no, listen, anybody who takes the pains that she took to misrepresent herself is not going to have tan lines. You got to go all the way in on pretending you're not white. Because she wants to leave that kernel of doubt with people, even though there really isn't any. She copped to the whole thing.
Well, there's no kernels.
You got to have a good diet if you're going to be showing that.
Yeah.
No kernels or peanuts or nothing.
I mean, it's not like they'd be sitting there if they were.
Right.
She would probably get a pair of chopsticks and take care of business. Well, that
More
might-
cultures to appropriate.
That's right. Cultural appropriation, even when it comes to her grooming.
Mm.
I've got, here's a palate cleanser for you. Want to hear some Jenna?
Oh, I don't know.
It's time for Sweet Nothings with Jenna from Poland.
Alexa is gay.
This has been Sweet Nothings with Jenna from Poland.
So aggressive.
So aggressive.
It's aggressive as a Rachel Dolezal booty shot.
Mhm.
OnlyFans.
The booty is where the doo-doo is, boy.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, listen, it seems though,
What is that from?
I'm sorry.
What is that?
I don't know.
The booty is where the doo-doo is, boy.
Who knows? Listen, it seems like if you're going to do OnlyFans, you have to do OnlyFans.
Yeah, but you have
It's
to
no
be,
longer
you have
become
to
a
be
way
a
to-
teacher or a nurse or something where you can get fired to get people interested
Yeah.
that's how you really
No,
become
people-
popular on there.
People were already interested in Rachel Dolezal. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
but
know
there's
where
gonna
I
be a
didn't know
lot
she
more.
was. Yeah, I didn't know she changed her name to
I did.
Hokio Budeki or what? You did?
Well, no, I didn't know she changed her name, but her OnlyFans, for whatever reason, again, it's maybe the algorithm's reading my mind, but she'll come up every now and again on the show, and a story will pop up about her. I'm like, well, yeah, where's this bitch? And then I'll see Rachel Dolezal.
Where is this bitch? A
where's she
bitch
now?
likes compensation, like
Yeah.
Poundcake said earlier.
Again, I mean, OnlyFans, it's going. If this is what we like, if this is what we as a society saying it's okay, and I'm not agreeing or disagreeing, I'm just saying you have to be prepared for everyday people. The allures of OnlyFans is everyday people. They're opening up their life where you can see it. So if you're okay with teachers and your doctor and your therapist having an OnlyFans, then have at it. But you can't fire people for teachers are people just like everybody else.
He's absolutely correct.
I'm just saying, you wouldn't want, if you're okay with a friend having an OnlyFans, you have to be okay with your therapist. Do you look at your therapist differently if they have a OnlyFans account? Or are you stigmatizing it?
I don't think he'd mind me looking at it. I don't know.
Hey, teachers, lick salon. All in our dista, I know they breaking the wall.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like OnlyFans is a thing that you can use to supplant or supplement your income, rather. It has to be like your main thing. But I think you're right, Bill. It's the firing that gets you the attention.
Yeah, that's what gets you in the news, and then people are like, "Well, I want to see this." Curiosity stokes some interest.
I don't think
and then
that's
boom.
I don't think that's true though. You can do OnlyFans part time. You can make an extra $500 or $1,000 a month is totally doable.
$500,000 a month.
I said $500 or $1,000 a month, not $500,000.
Oh, I thought you said $500,000 a month.
An extra $500 or
quitting this
$1,000.
gig and getting on there.
Like you make your thing like $5.99 per subscriber or $9.99 per subscriber.
There's the punishment for the polar blast. Whoever loses has to start
an OnlyFans. Yeah, but the thought is you can't nickel and dime it because if you do get caught, you won't have made any money. And your reputation will be sullied.
But okay.
So you got to try to make cash while you can.
That's only
but that's the gamble that you're taking.
But at this point right now, people are getting fired. But again, it's going to be like the new OnlyFans is like the new tattoo.
Right, but that's going to be a long time before we get there.
Well,
it is still sex work.
Yeah, it's going to be a while, but they growing up, that's all I heard. Don't get tattoos. You're not going to be able to get hired. No one's going to hire you. No one's going to take you seriously. There's a stigma on tattoos.
There still is, though.
And now, but I'm saying
not as much, but it depends on what you're trying to get a job doing.
A lot of my bosses, and I've had serious jobs. I've had office jobs, and most of my bosses had tattoos.
Yeah, but they were probably covered up. They were wearing long sleeve dress shirts.
They would have their sleeves.
They probably didn't have "Go F Yourself" on their knuckles when they're working a white collar job.
I have tattoos, and I wasn't able to get a job as a surgeon, so there you go.
That's what kept Bill Squire from an illustrious medical career.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't want your doctor to have tattoos. You're like, oh God, he's got a cross on.
No,
him.
I think at this point, insofar as it's not that big of, it used to be bikers and tweakers that had them, but. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal, but there still is somewhat of a stigma on them.
I agree with you, but I think that
it does imply some bad decision-making on the part of some people.
Yeah, I mean, no one would want, like, their mom or their kid, of age, of course, doing OnlyFans.
That was the funniest. Jelly Roll in the Uber Eats commercial during the Super Bowl was funny because the premise was you forget that there's Uber Eats. In order to remember Uber Eats, you have to forget something else. And so they have Jennifer Aniston meeting David Schwimmer, but she doesn't know him. And then they have Jelly Roll going to the mirror and rubbing his face, going, "These don't come off? When the hell did I get these?" Alan, more like Rachel Dolezal.
Well done.
Well done. Indeed. So, yeah. Good for her.
Poor woman.
No, she's doing good.
She's just trying. You don't know that.
No, I don't. You don't know that. I don't know how much she was making.
Yeah, she's trying to make a living.
I mean, not enough to not quit her teaching job. You think she wanted to go from a university spot to teach in middle school or whatever?
Yes.
I wonder what she was teaching.
Sex ed.
Guys, this is my friend Sex Ed. You might see him as a partner in some of my OnlyFans videos.
Happy Black History Month, though, right?
We call him Sex Edward, but you guys can use the informal, the two form.
It's hard out here for a hoe.
I think pimp is what you want to go with.
But in her case.
I'm sorry?
But in her case.
Oh, I see. She couldn't possibly be a pimp because she's a woman, Poundcake.
Oh, no, there's some woman pimps. I just don't think she's the pimp.
No.
She seems very nice.
But she's not a hoe either. I mean, she's not a hoe.
Okay, we'll put an L in there.
Oh?
Yes.
Where would you like the L?
Le hoe.
In front of the
It's French.
after the O and before the E.
You didn't. Now you're throwing an E in. He goes, oh, throw an L in there.
Well,
That would be HOL.
But I spell hoe HOE.
Oh, you do.
You spell hoe just HO?
I spell the garden implement with an E. I spell the lovely ladies of the sex work industry HO.
Oh, okay.
That's the distinction that I
The
make.
lovely ladies, I call them hoe.
I do.
And she ain't your
I
hoe
don't-
no mo.
That's right. I don't call them hoes because that's derogatory. Unless they prefer, if they want to refer to themselves that way, that's fine.
At what level does selling like what Mary does? Mary sells foot
What?
pic. I'm just asking.
What?
Does that count as sex work?
Yes.
Selling foot pics are sex work?
Yes, it's sex work.
No, I don't think so.
I was gonna say,
They're
at what
using
level
it
does it
for
become
sex.
sex work?
But you are not doing sex work.
It's sex work to them.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's being used for sex.
I'm just saying that reasonable people can probably all agree, irrespective of what side of the equation they're on, that what she's doing is not the same as selling pictures of your feet.
I mean, I don't care what anybody says.
Just because it's on a platform that's primarily known for that, you know, two people who run into each other and she goes, "Oh, what do you do?" "Oh, I do full on, nonstop DP," and the other one's like, "Oh, I paint my piggies," and then guys sell
And
pictures.
it's the same.
It's not
Mary,
the
did you
It's
same.
the exact same.
Did you
Yeah.
ever?
Someone's cranking to it. What's the difference? You know?
Yeah, but somebody's cranking it
Yeah,
to
to
car
models,
and driver. It doesn't make a car magazine sex work.
Yeah, if a model is in
If
like a
you're selling
bikini or
it, though.
something.
But if you're selling it direct to a consumer for the express purpose of yakking it,
Mary
Then
doesn't
it's-
know what these guys want these foot pictures
That's
for.
also true. I've never
She doesn't ask. She wants to keep the relationship
okay, from
professional.
now on, be explicit about why you're buying the pics to Mary so she knows if it's sex work or not.
Gee, how'd you make that connection, Einstein?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was just curious. I didn't
We'll
know.
start a spreadsheet, Mary, if you pardon the pun. And
How many people buy it just for, toenail polish and
yes,
Mhm.
maybe it's somebody who works for
OPI?
Hard Candy or OPI. Yeah, one of
Yeah.
these companies.
Have people like been blowing you up since you moved to New York to try and help you out?
No.
No?
I also haven't had any time, dude. I just got my first pedicure last week.
Those guys were into local feet.
I was gonna say I thought they
Poundcake.
want some rough feet.
Local feet. All that walking she's doing.
Yeah, all the
Dude, so
walking now,
much.
got calluses, and they're like, oh, "Yeah, let me see it after you moved."
That is going to open you up to a whole new fan base, though.
Yeah.
Right?
The Bunyan
Santora
boys are coming.
Gmail.com. Come on, Bunyan boys, Santora toes. Hit me up.
And you probably don't want the middleman, because if you were to create an OnlyFans and sell your toes, then OnlyFans would get a cut. But since
Right.
you just got a
A middleman.
yeah, it's a middleman.
We got a Poundcake sports break about 20 minutes from now. I'll also have another $1,000 for you. It'll be the last chance today for you to win a grand from the Buzzard